everybody was looking at New York. Everybody was focused on Mamdani. Everybody was worried about Mamdani. But people did not realize that at the same time, 76 Muslim candidates were running for office nationwide. And on election day, 42 of them have been declared winners, with 3 races still pending recounts or certification. So the 42 Muslim officials right now occupy positions in some of the most influential jurisdictions in the country, from New York's mayor's office to Virginia's executive branch, from Michigan's heartland to local school board. And by the way, the elected officials span at least 9 states, Bill. New York, Virginia, Michigan, New Jersey, Maryland, Washington, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. They elected 6 mayors, 4 state legislatures, 20 city councils and commissioners, 6 school board members, 2 judges, and 3 other political positions. And that's exactly what the Muslim Brotherhood Project for North America, the document that our government introduced as evidence in the largest terrorism financing trial in American history, listed 29 front Islamic organizations set up in America with the sole purpose of infiltrating America and dominating America through a civilization jihad. Politics is a civilization jihad, and they are well on their way. And in Lebanon, where actually they do have a republic, which is my country of birth, which is a republic, the radical Islamists, the Shiite mostly, multiplied like rats and elected themselves into the government democratically. They ran for office. And by the way, Bill, I saw a video just yesterday morning where the head mullah in Lebanon, the Shiite mullah, congratulating all the Muslim candidates who won in America by name, starting with Mamdani. The Muslim Brotherhood Project was written in 1991. And it lays out a 100-year plan for radical Islam to infiltrate and dominate the West and establish an Islamic government on earth. In the counterterrorism circles, Bill, it became known as the Project. And the public first saw the details of the project when it was introduced in Dallas, Texas in 2007. In the U.S. government trial, the U.S. government versus the Holy Land Foundation, which is an Islamic foundation, which raised $12 million raised in America by Muslim Americans who sent money to Muslims in the Middle East, to terrorist organizations to support terrorism. And our government actually handed down 108 guilty verdicts to Muslim American and Muslim American organizations. And the most interesting part of the plan is the last page, which lists 29 front Islamic organizations set up in America to destroy America from within. And I'll read you a paragraph from the plan that I just happened to have sitting at my desk. It says, there's a paragraph that says, understanding the role of the Muslim Brother in North America. And I quote, the process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process. The brothers, the Ikhwan, must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers, meaning Muslims. And so, and that's the concern. The last page, they list different organizations. The first organization is ISNA, Islamic Society of North America, which used to be advisors to President Obama about Middle East policy. The number 2 organization on the list is the Muslim Student Association, the MSA, which has more chapters on American college campuses than the Democrats and the Republicans combined. Those are the guys that are screaming anti-Semitism since October 7th, kill the Jews, waving Palestinian flags and burning down American flags. Number 22 on the list is IAP, Islamic Association for Palestine, which later became CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, who raised most of the money to support Mamdani and his election, and not just Mamdani, to support all the other Muslim candidates running for office. We have seen the transformation of Europe to Eurabia for decades right now, Bill, and you and I have been talking about this for over 50 15 years
Right.
talking about this issue. The Europeans did not want to see it. The Europeans started importing Muslims to build Europe after World War II because they realized we can import cheap labor. So they started bringing the Algerians and the Libyans, etc. And after these guys worked for 2 years, they were supposed to go home. But the Europeans realized, look, this is such cheap labor and we are enjoying not working in construction. We don't want to do this stuff. Let them bring their family and let them be together in Europe. So they started the family reunification program, and these Muslims started bringing in their families. But what aggravated the situation was with the wars in the Middle East for the last 30 years, you know, with the Iran and Iraq and after 9/11 and Syria and the rise of Al-Qaeda and of ISIS. So all these refugees ended up in Europe because the useful idiots, which the European, that's what I call them, just like the American useful idiots, the left, who wants to import all these Islamists into Europe while none of the Arabic countries wanted them. And basically, the Muslims did not even want to go back to the Arabic countries. They didn't want to go there. They don't get any freebies. They want to come to Europe where they can get welfare. And they know they can do whatever they want and get away with it because Europeans are too weak to stand up for them, to them. Because, you know, we live in a Judeo-Christian world. You know, Western civilization was built on the Judeo-Christian foundation where you do unto others what you want others to do unto you. You open your arms. We're open-minded. We're multicultural. We're tolerant. We pride ourselves on our multiculturalism and diversity. But that was the beginning of our demise. That's the news that the Islamists are hanging around Europe's neck and around our neck if we don't wake up here in America very, very fast and start organizing and mobilizing. And what really is so frustrating, Bill, is if you're watching television, and it doesn't matter whether it's Fox News, BBC, or CNN. Like yesterday, I was watching the headline, and it says, gunmen killed 13 girls or whatever, kidnapped 13 girls.
Right.
And, you know, all the reports, you know, gunmen, terrorists, name them by their name. These are Islamic terrorists killing the Christians just the same way that they are doing in Syria, just the same way they are doing and assassinating Christians in Lebanon, except in Nigeria right now they're doing what they did in Sudan. Remember in Sudan and Congo in the early between 2000 and 2005, 5 million Christians were slaughtered. 5 million. We're not talking about 100,000 people died in Gaza. Oh my gosh, the Jews are committing genocide. We're talking 5 million Sudanese and people in Congo that were massacred and slaughtered. They're doing the same thing in Nigeria right now to the Christians. Islamists are trying to literally ethnic cleanse the Christian with mass killing, kidnapping, and rape. And so this is what's happening in Nigeria. What is the Christian world doing about it? You know, whatever happened to the professing Christians who go to church every Sunday and, oh, you are your brother's keeper, and Jesus said to take care of each other. What? Nobody cares about the Christians? All these people who are demonstrating for pro-Palestine, they care about the Palestinians, who, by the way, would slit our throat in a second if they get a chance to, yet they're not saying a word about the Christians in Nigeria who are being literally slaughtered to death in mass. That's a problem. Not to mention the rights that are stripped from non-Muslims in these countries. I mean, look at the Copts in Egypt. Look at the Assyrians in Syria. Look at the Chaldeans in Iraq. Look what's happening all across the Middle East where Muslims are in power. The rights of the minority is being stepped upon, trampled on. They wanna kick them out. They have no rights. You know, in Egypt, you can only get an education up to a certain level, and you cannot get a job past a certain level because they are only reserved to Muslims. And that's in today's world. That's in the 25th century. And that's exactly why we are warning Americans about the Muslim Brotherhood, which came out of Egypt, by the way. This is where they started in Egypt. In 1920s, right after Ataturk ended the Islamic Caliphate. In 1928-29, that's when the Muslim Brotherhood was born out of Egypt and exported their radical ideology worldwide. And by the way, you saw my video about the Muslim Brotherhood. Right now, we are giving the Muslim Brotherhood document, the document that I just talked about, that was introduced as evidence, the plan for the Muslim Brotherhood. We're giving it away for a donation to our organization. If you go to actforamerica.org right now and give a $26 donation, we're raising money 26 for 2026 because we're mobilizing the nation for the election, so they can understand what we are dealing with and what the Muslims are planning for the United States. We will send you the plan so you can read it yourself. You can share it. Your donation is tax deductible, $26. Go to actforamerica.org, and we want to get this plan in your hand. And that's why we, with my organization, Bill, after the election in New York and seeing all these Muslims who do not share our values elected to office, we are relaunching our chapter network nationwide. And people can go to actforamerica.org right now, actforamerica.org. Click on Join Us. Sign up to start a chapter in your community. Sign up to volunteer in your community. We will connect you with other like-minded people in your community, where you can come together and start passing legislation, influencing policy at the local level, and standing up to the lefty who are trying to remake and reshape and transform your community.